So here we are, the Bronx, New York, New York City, USA. I'm not out in Vegas for this one, although I would like to be out in Vegas for this one. Funny enough, I just got an email on Thursday informing me that a credential I had applied for to attend this fight was approved. Actually, today's not Thursday, it's Wednesday, but whatever. I mean, it might as well be Thursday. It's Wednesday night. So, shout out to my brother Joe Habib, Ringside Reporter Live. He often says that the best seat in the house is the sofa. So I'm here in my living room checking out all of the coverage of today's press conference. Of course, the press conference for Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed 168-pound title from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, taking on none other than Jaime Munguia, his younger compatriot from Tijuana, Baja California Norte, in Mexico also. This is obviously for the undisputed 168-pound championship of the world. So look, very interested in this fight, obviously. And this press conference got heated today. Obviously, there was that exchange between Canelo and Oscar, the Golden Boy de la Hoya, head of Golden Boy Promotions. And I thought it was very entertaining. I think it's building the hype for the fight. And might as well check out some of the coverage from the DAZN boxing channel on YouTube, DAZN Boxing. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. Let's go. I haven't watched this part yet, but it is the part where Oscar joins some of my favorite guys in the sport, the guys that work for DAZN. So let's have a look. Let's have a listen. Let's go.
We don't normally see Canelo react like that. Maybe the Caleb Plant fight, obviously, and the famous little 1-2 he threw to Caleb Plant. But we've never seen him swear and shout and be aggressive like that.
And we got out of character, and I think if that's what Oscar De La Hoya wanted to do, he got it. I mean, Canelo really was angry and really went at him, got up from his chair. Normally, Canelo's like real cool and tempered, and he does all his talking.
So it's obviously my guy Sergio the Latin Snake Mora in the middle. Salute to Sergio, by the way. He was very generous with his time when he was in Brooklyn. He met a few of my students that attended the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney open workout. Side note, I actually just heard that Ryan Garcia tested positive for a PED after, or maybe it was before the fight with Devin Haney. Stay tuned for more information on that. But we got Sergio Mora, we got Chris Mannix, newly engaged Chris Mannix. Congrats, Chris. And my guy, I used to call him Victor, but obviously it's not Victor Oladipo. It's Ale Oladipo. There you go, Ale. So here, let's go.
Not tonight. That's a different Canelo right there. It seems like Oscar De La Hoya took a page out of Ryan Garcia's promotional book because he's firing shots. That was crazy press conference. That was real. There's real anger, passion, and resentment up in the days.
And unfortunately, there's real hate there as well. And it's a shame because, as Oscar pointed out, these two have worked with each other for a few years. They've been successful with each other as well, put on some big fights. And it is a shame, but boxing's full of that kind of story, isn't it? Where you see promoters and managers fall out with fighters.
Look, and peel back the layers a little bit. Back in, it was around 2012, 2013, I'm not sure the exact date, Canelo Alvarez kind of saved Golden Boy Promotions. At that point, a lot of fighters were leaving Golden Boy to go work exclusively with Al Haymon. That was back when there was a
So this is true, what Chris is saying. People remember that the Charlo brothers were with Golden Boy. Danny Swift Garcia was with Golden Boy. Deontay Wilder was with Golden Boy. I'm missing a lot of people, but I mean, most of the PBC guys from that era fought under Golden Boy. That was a point in Golden Boy's history when it was essentially being run by Richard Schaefer, the Swiss banker turned Californian boxing promoter who was working under Oscar when Oscar obviously was kind of on hiatus, MIA. Oscar actually referenced that when he was speaking about some of the challenges he faced when he was up at the podium, but let's go.
Conflict between Golden Boy, specifically Oscar, and Al. They had a separation. A lot of fighters went with Al. Canelo stayed. If Canelo doesn't go, I don't know where Golden Boy is right now. He became the tentpole, and he carried that company for a number of years. And really, was it 4 or 5 years ago, you had a falling out between these two guys that obviously is deep-rooted, that obviously involves money, as we heard Canelo talking about. Canelo's belief that Oscar didn't promote as seriously as he was fighting. So there's a lot of layers to this bitterness between these two guys.
Yeah, we are hearing that Oscar De La Hoya is going to join us in a few moments as well.
Should be good.
Hear some of the answers to those questions. But it made for a better press conference. Let's be honest. I know sometimes we don't have to see this in the sport of boxing. It's a respectful sport, but sometimes you do need to sell the fight. And as we...
Is it a respectful sport, Ade? I mean, I'd like for boxing to be respected, but I've seen enough fights where, let's face facts, I mean, Evander Holyfield's getting his ear bitten off. Mike Tyson is biting also Lennox Lewis on his leg at a press conference. Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman are essentially freestyle wrestling in an ESPN studio turning over tables. There's obviously Derek Chisora and his antics out in the UK. Keeping it with the UK, I can think of famous scenes of David Haye and Derek Chisora. Well, this was actually out in Germany. He glassed me. David Haye essentially hitting Derek Chisora with a beer bottle. David Haye running up on Vladimir Klitschko in a shopping mall, taunting him for a fight. Shannon Briggs, let's go champ, stalking Vladimir Klitschko for a fight. Paulie Malignaggi and Adrian Broner arguing over Paulie's quote-unquote side piece after their fight in Brooklyn. I could go on and on and on. I mean, I'd love to say, as someone who's a boxing coach, a pro and amateur, got a boxing channel, loved the sport, competed in the sport at a much lower level, but I'd love to say it's respectful, but is it really? I'd like it to be respected, but is it really respectful? I don't know, but let's keep it moving.
Both kind of pointed out, that's probably a few more pay-per-view buys because of it.
No, normally fighters choose violence. You know, they'll actually push each other, sometimes even swing at each other. This was verbal violence, and it was heated because we've never seen that side of Canelo.
And Oscar didn't back up, did he?
No, he did back up. You gotta remember, Oscar is a born fighter.
That's a fact.
LA, where I'm from. He's not gonna back up from no one, and Canelo did the exact same thing. That's Mexican blood boiling passion right there. That was real serious.
Oscar is joining us right now.
Here we go.
Make sure you stay with us as well. Let's squeeze Oscar into this one.
Speaking of the Golden Boy from LA.
Looking sharp.
Side note, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this when Oscar takes the stage here. You know, Oscar is someone who I'll always remember from my childhood because my mom and her friends were huge Oscar De La Hoya fans. Oscar was like the first fighter like I actually watched on pay-per-view, and a big up to my mom for that one because she was a fan of his. And she actually kind of stopped watching boxing when Oscar retired. So big up to Oscar for bringing in the ladies. And I bet you there's a lot of other people out there who watch boxing at a time when their mothers were Oscar fans, and it helped kind of them develop a passion for the sport. So I don't know if anybody's ever talked about that before, but I think that there's more people out there like me who kind of got exposed to the sport even more because their moms were interested in the sport because of Oscar. But here we go.
Why is everybody
so serious?
Do you know what? As you were getting to the middle, I did say to Sergio, I was like, he's gonna say something. I did say it right, Sergio.
I thought you were gonna say something. So he's the one that predicted it. We loved it. Where did it come from?
It came from the heart. It came from the truth. That's who he is. I mean, what people remember or don't remember, that Jaime Munguia wanted to fight Triple G when Canelo failed 2 drug tests. That's the truth. I mean, I'm not making things up. You know, now I have a good one for you.
Well, that one actually was a fact. And you guys will probably remember that the I believe it was the Nevada State Athletic Commission actually refused that fight. If I remember correctly, Jaime was like still a teenager, maybe just turned 20. Definitely early 20s, like very, very young in the sport.
A better one for him. I have a better one for him. I've never, ever in my life, because we live in a system here in the United States where the government is always watching you, is always taking care of you. And what do? All I do is work for the fighter. All I do is make sure the fighter makes the most money. Him saying that I steal from a fighter, that's defamation. I don't like that.
We were talking before we came up here.
Wow.
On this one.
Oscar went for it right there, defamation. I smell, well, maybe I don't smell lawsuit. I don't want to get too dramatic here, but that's definitely what he's throwing out there.
It's true, because Canelo stayed with you back in the day. Back when you had a conflict with Al Heyman, some of the fighters left. Canelo decided to stay. What is at the root of this animosity between you two?
Good question.
Well, my history is that I critiqued his trainer Eddie Reynoso. I believe when he fought, who did he fight? He fought somebody where he looked bad. And I said to a reporter, I said, you know what? Maybe Eddie Reynoso needs a little help, just the way I needed help when I had 7 different trainers, and they took offense. They were offended by that, and now I'm the bad guy. So everything that I say is the truth, and if it rubs you the wrong way, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
I'm gonna say, Oscar, that this is you maybe doing the mind games. Obviously, Munguia won't get involved in any trash talk whatsoever, and you're almost doing this for Munguia. Take Canelo out of his game. We don't really see Canelo angry like that. We rarely see it. Is it a bit of mind games as well?
Well, look, I'm just a promoter, trying to promote my guy and promote a fight. I mean, look, again, it's like being at church again, you know. And I somebody has to spark something, right? And all I did was talk the truth. That's it.
You're certainly a little more of a promoter in this context, because we said this. You woke up this morning and chose violence with that speech. You had a speech prepared. You knew exactly what you were going to say. You knew exactly what you were going to bring up. Why did you choose this moment to confront Canelo head on?
Well, because obviously that fight week is very important. Fight week, like you said, yes, this is a mind game. This is you want to get into a fighter's head. You want to you know, if fighters are not going to talk bad about each other, then okay, somebody has to, you know, speak the truth. And I came out and said what I felt, and you know, it obviously worked.
So that's an interesting statement there by Oscar. Essentially what he's saying is, look, Jaime is a really nice guy. Jaime Munguia, that is, he's not going to really talk. So somebody's got to talk. Somebody's got to sell these pay-per-views. You know, people want to see the back and forth between the fighters. But Jaime's not really that guy. So I'm going to step in there and I'm going to be the bad guy. So say hello to the bad guy. Oscar de la Hoya in this particular case.
Weeks ago, not many people gave your fighter Ryan Garcia much chance against Devin Haney. As we approach this one, not many people give Munguia a solid chance against Canelo. Why does Munguia get the job done for you on Saturday?
I think there's a lot of variables that come into play here. Obviously, the youth is a big one. The wear and tear on Canelo is a big one. He has operations on his knees. He has operations on his shoulders. I know all of this. You know, when you sleep with silk pajamas every night, it's hard to wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. and run your usual, you know, five miles as fast as you can. So, you know, not only that, but Munguia is getting better and better and better and better. Obviously, I can say he's the bigger guy. He hits hard. He has a great chin. But having Freddie Roach in his corner is a huge, huge plus. And what I've been seeing in the gym from him, jab, 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 footwork, like bivol, you know, something that Canelo cannot take, cannot handle, some kind of...
All right. I mean, he's a promoter. He's putting on his promoter's cap here. You know, I was with him with the shoulder surgery, the knee surgery, the fact that Canelo's getting a little bit older here, but you look at Jaime Munguia and how he fights. You look at Dmitry Bivol, the great Russian light heavyweight, WBA IBO light heavyweight champion of the world. Dimitri Bivol. I mean, look, let's be honest. He fights nothing like Dimitri Bivol. Jaime Munguia, that is. So, promoter hat there. Big up to Oscar for, supporting his guy. But I can't really say that particular comparison is necessarily appropriate.
Movement, and then Canelo with his punch output, he only throws 10, 15 punches around, where Munguia's throwing over 50, 60 punches around. So all that you take into consideration, I give him a shot.
Not only that, Oscar, but we're debating this. Who do you think takes a better shot, Munguia or Canelo? Who has a harder chin?
It's Canelo. Canelo takes the.
Oh, come on, that's an easy question. I mean, it's Canelo. I've never seen Canelo buzzed, not once in the fight. Actually, I think I saw him buzzed maybe once when he fought Cotto. Not Miguel Cotto, but Miguel Cotto's, I believe it's his cousin. He got kind of rocked in that fight briefly. But the 160, 168, 175 version of Canelo, I've never seen that guy get rocked. But guess who I've seen get rocked? I've seen Jaime Munguia rocked. Sergey Devenchenko put hands on Jaime Munguia. So you could say that Jaime's improved under Freddie Roach in his last fight against John Ryder, but he was definitely buzzed up, I think anyways, against Sergey Devenchenko in his penultimate fight.
Shot, but he knows how to divert it, roll off it. Yeah, it's like that roll, right? Whereas Munguia takes the shot, he doesn't roll it, and it looks violent when he gets hit, but he still takes it.
So who takes the better shot?
I do think that Canelo can possibly take the better shot, just for those.
That means that Canelo can take the better shot.
I wanted to hear from the Golden Boy. I said Munguia, but okay.
Okay, no. I mean, it's a valid point. Look,
Well, there you go.
Play a big part.
Very
But don't forget about the body.
No question.
All right, guys. So I'm going to drop it there. I think we got some interesting tidbits there from that exchange. I'm not going to go any longer. It goes on for a while. But big one there. Defamation. Big word from Oscar. I know Oscar can hire some high-priced lawyers, maybe tie Canelo up in litigation, should he so choose to do. Because let's face facts. I mean, those were some inflammatory statements there made by Canelo. But we'll see. I'm mostly looking forward to the fight. Enjoy the fights, guys. And let's see if I do any more of these. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. And take care.